Hello, my name is Jack, and today I wanted to spend a bit more time talking about the subject of struggling, and specifically the difference between actively and passively struggling. So I know my last video was also about struggling, or at least the title would suggest, but in that video I actually spent more time talking about perseverance and what it takes to get through a period of your life where you are struggling. And so in this video, I wanted to spend a bit more time talking about struggling specifically. And I thought, what better game to use as background footage than Elden Ring? I mean, FromSoft games are pretty much struggling incarnate. But before we go any further, I need to make it clear that struggling is, unfortunately, a necessary part of life. And broadly speaking, there are two different types of struggling, those being the two types that I mentioned earlier: active struggling and passive struggling. So what do I mean by those? What's the difference exactly? We'll start with active struggles because I think that makes a little bit more sense. So an active struggle is one that you take on willingly. It's a struggle that you are deliberately electing to go through with the knowledge, or at least the hope, that if you can get through it, you will come out the other side a better and stronger person. So the example I'm going to use is going to the gym. Obviously, loads of people go to the gym. No one's making them go to the gym. They go for their own reasons. But the point is that they are themselves choosing to go to the gym because they know that if they go to the gym frequently enough and they exercise with enough intensity over a long period of time, they will eventually get stronger. The majority of people don't enjoy going to the gym itself. I mean, there are, I imagine, a small group of people that do actually enjoy the work that they put in at the gym, but I think it's safe to say that most people go to the gym because of the results. They don't go because they enjoy putting in the work in the gym. They go because they like the results outside of the gym. And so that would be an example of active struggling. So passive struggling is a little bit harder to explain, but it's essentially what happens in the absence of active struggling. Because, as I said earlier, there is no way around the struggling. You can't avoid it. Just because you're choosing to not struggle actively doesn't mean you won't be struggling. It just means you'll be struggling passively. And I can use the gym again here as an example, right? So if you're choosing to not go to the gym, to not put yourself through that and suffer, you may think you've avoided the struggle in that moment, but the reality is you will end up struggling in the long run, in the future. You know, if you're not exercising, then you may not necessarily be struggling now, but there's a good chance that you will struggle in the future. You know, when you're older, everyday tasks will become harder, you'll be more susceptible to illnesses, that kind of stuff. And by the way, I'm by no means trying to shame anyone that doesn't go to the gym here. I just think it's a good example, and I hope we can all agree that exercising is, in general, a good thing. The point that I'm trying to make is that if you don't choose to struggle, it doesn't mean that you won't be struggling. It just means that life will choose your struggle for you. And the difference between choosing your own struggle and letting life choose one for you is that if you are choosing your own struggle, you are choosing to struggle towards something, towards being a better person, having a better life. But if you're letting life choose your struggle, there is a good chance that you will be struggling just for the sake of struggling. You're not working towards anything, things aren't getting any better, you are just struggling. And I think that's the important distinction to make here. Like, there is no way around struggling. You either choose how you're going to struggle, or life will choose for you. So you may as well struggle towards something. And something that I'm learning is that actively choosing to struggle often means doing things that you don't want to do. Like, even making this video. I was planning on making this video today. I've been putting it off all day. I just didn't have the motivation. So I went for a walk for a couple of hours, cleared my head, and I came back and just said, let's get on with it. That, and I got called into work tomorrow, which means I won't have as much time as I would like to work on it. So I said, I've been putting it off long enough, let's just get it done now. And this is something that I'm trying to work on going forward. I mean, generally speaking, most of us know the things that we should and shouldn't be doing. Like, knowing what to do isn't the problem as much as actually doing it is. Like, most of us know that we need to exercise more, read more, study more, whatever it is. But it's actually making ourselves do these things that's the problem. Often as human beings, we are slaves to our emotions, and it can be pretty difficult getting us to do things that we don't want to do. So personally, whenever I run into a task that I don't want to do, I try to remind myself that if I can do it, there is a very good chance that I will come out the other side better for it. Like, there's probably a reason that I don't want to do it, right? That reason usually being because it's not something that is enjoyable, at least not in the moment. But that's how you improve in life, is by doing the tasks that are unfun, because those are the ones that pay off the most. Like, by and large, I would argue that the fact that something is unfun is in itself the reason that it pays off. You know, the payoff is the reason we do it. Otherwise, it's just something that's unfun. There'd be no reason to do it at all. And I think in my life, it's been quite a while since I've undertaken a long-term active struggle. I think the last time I can honestly say that I've done something like that would probably be university, which is almost 10 years ago now. And I think even while I was at university, I can't say I was working hard enough. Like, I did pass, and I didn't get a bad grade by any means, but it wasn't quite the grade I wanted. And as a result, I never quite got into the industry that I studied in. And because of that, it means that I now have this degree that I haven't used professionally. You know, because I chose to not struggle more actively, it has now led me to this life where I am struggling passively. And obviously, I can't go back in time. I can't change how hard I worked, but I can do something about the situation that it's landed me in. I can do something about my situation here and now. I can learn from the past and try to do better in the present. But if you take anything away from this video, let it be this. No matter what you do, you are going to struggle. It is unavoidable. So you might as well struggle towards a better life. If you find that you are someone that is struggling at the hands of life, then I would encourage you to take on more struggles of your own. Start choosing what it is that you struggle at so that life stops choosing for you. If you can do that, then I promise you, your life will start to improve. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.